Hey y'all, Austin here with Outer World Media. Welcome back to another book review. This time we're talking Walt Longmire. We're talking The Dark Horse. Book number 5 in the series, guys. This is, and I'm going to set this up right here real quick. If it's not going to stay. No, it's not. So you know what? Oh well. I don't edit anything if y'all can't tell. But again, guys, The Dark Horse. So this one takes place outside Absaroka County. Essentially, Walt goes undercover as a PI is his, job that he's supposedly going by, or that he says he does. He's there to check on a crime that was committed by a gentleman named Wade Barsad, I think. Barsad. I could be mistaken on how to pronounce that last name. But essentially, he's there. He's trying to figure out what happened and just try to find out some more information about this crime and about Wade. And as he's there, things happen as far as that goes. It's Walt Longmire. Nothing's ever as straightforward as it seems. We find out that, everybody in the town had a reason to want to kill Wade and whatnot. They find out Wade is dead, and they're trying to figure out, why this happened, who did it, kind of thing. And so as this story develops, again, we're not inside Absaroka County. We're in a different county, trying not to give too much away. We kind of get a glimpse of Walt's childhood a little bit in this. We come across some characters that are going to be reoccurring in the series, as the books go on and whatnot. We get a boxing match in this book, which is awesome. Walt is in this little kind of like valley where there's no cell service, but we know Walt doesn't really carry a phone to begin with. But normally, you get through to Walt on, the local landline and whatnot, or, people have their way of getting a hold of him, but not necessarily in this book. Again, guys, this is one that we're introduced to some characters that you're meant to like and not meant to like. This, I will say, is not the strongest. In my opinion, this is not the strongest entry in the Longmire series. It's still a good book. All these ones, I've read the first 11 and a half. By that, I mean, I'm counting, the short stories. I've read every single one up to this point. They're all good. There's got to be, some that aren't going to be as good. And that's kind of what this is. It's not filler by any means. But this is just not one that, I would say is my favorite. We get to see Walt kind of bonding with kind of like a younger man, a younger kid in this, just trying to, have a good influence. We come across a couple people that aren't necessarily here legally in the U.S., so they're kind of looking over their shoulder and whatnot. So again, there's a whole lot that comes into play in this book. Again, guys, we're introduced to so many different characters, some which are reoccurring, like I said, some aren't, and I wish a couple of them would be reoccurring characters or would come back. We just haven't seen them in the series again that I'm aware of. As always, I like to tell everybody, go check out Longmire. Again, guys, this has really become one of, if not my favorite ongoing series. This probably is my favorite ongoing series at this point in time. Great. Again, it's a great series. This book, again, it's a little bit on the weaker side. Not saying it's bad. There, like I said, there's got to be a book that's not, necessarily the strongest. That's kind of this for me. But again, guys, The Dark Horse by Mr. Craig Johnson. Go check this out. There is a little bit of a, without giving too much away, there's some twists and turns and all that, and plot twists that happen in this story that I didn't see coming. So I will give it that. As always, Mr. Craig Johnson is a great author. He writes a great mystery. Again, you just got to have some tweaks to this that I would like to have seen. Again, one of them being I wish some of these characters would, kind of be reoccurring in the series. But that's hindsight looking back, going into this and finishing this. For all I knew, every single character in this book was going to be reoccurring, even though it's in a different county. But you know what, guys, that's just a little nitpick. Like I said, The Dark Horse, I would definitely, on a scale of 1 to 5, I would rate this a 4. Again, it's a good entry. But it's not the strongest. But again, guys, The Dark Horse by Mr. Craig Johnson. Go check it out. Obviously, check out the first 4 books before you read this, but if you just come across one, hey, pick it up. You might enjoy it as a standalone. I will say that's one thing with this series. You really do need to try to read these in order. The individual, novellas and whatnot, not necessarily. You don't have to read those. I just like to do it because it kind of fills the gaps in and whatnot. But again, guys, I'm going to start repeating myself. So I'm just going to end this by saying The Dark Horse by Mr. Craig Johnson. A great mystery. Not the strongest, but still a good mystery and still a good book. Y'all go check it out.